Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. It's time for your Chelsea versus Sheffield United review. 2-0 win at Stamford Bridge this afternoon. We did it. We finally got through a full 90 minutes with a clean sheet, with a couple of goals and with a win. Now, that game was rough because the first half could not be more different to the second. And clearly something was said, and clearly there was a change even tactically as well in terms of the approach, and it was so needed. Because at the start, the first 45 minutes, the way I was watching us create no opportunities, no big chances, a 0.12 XG after the first 45 minutes. Not a single big chance created and only one save from the Sheffield United goalkeeper, which was a long shot from Gallagher, which went straight down his throat. I was honestly sickened. I was sickened that a team in a dire situation, the magnitude of this match was so big. It was a do or die. And we were so toothless, so passive, so pedantic, so bad. I couldn't quite believe it. I was thinking to myself, at this point, anything could happen after this game. If you're going to carry on in this manner, anything can happen and I wouldn't even care. You guys are seriously taking the royal piss. But we managed to fix it in the second. Now, with that team that went out there, I said it at the start of the match and I continue to say it. I just felt like with those centre-backs, with those four centre-backs across the back line, it felt too defensive in terms of those players had a lot of pressure on them to play those line breakers, to play those incredible passes. And the only person that was really doing that was Silva one or two times in that first half. Colwell played a decent ball over the top to Mudryk at one point and got a corner out of it, but we weren't doing it often enough. There was just so much responsibility and pressure on Badiashile, on Disasi as well, to play these incredible line breakers through, Sheffield United's compact, narrow block to find Palmer, to find Mudryk, to find Sterling, and they weren't doing it. And then on top of that, we didn't have any overlapping runners, any underlapping runners from fullback to actually support our wingers that were getting doubled up on, tripled up on. There was just no way we were going to get through. And even though Jackson wasn't great in that first half, he didn't even have a shot. Yeah, he didn't have a chance really. One shot that he had cutting in and thrashed it wide. There's one moment that Mudryk nutmegged someone and then decided to hit the community, the crowd, for no reason. I know Coach Cam was at the game today. I thought maybe Mudryk might be aiming for him. I don't know what's going on. I said, brother, where are you going with that? The maturity, the composure, calm down. You've nutmegged someone, build something with it. But no. The funniest moment from that first half was literally Mudryk landing on someone's back and just like frolicking, like a fish out of water, I said on the watch along. Just couldn't breathe, bruv. Couldn't breathe. It was like he didn't belong up there. You know what I'm saying? Man was off the ground, out of his comfort zone. That's the only moment I could take from that first half. It was dire. It was dire. There was not enough support out wide. There was not enough penetration in the middle. Pause. There was nothing. It was poor. So, like I said, not testing the keeper. Petrovic had nothing to do today. The game was all on us. The onus was all on us to go and commit bodies forward, to put together combination play and to create chances and to score goals. Sheffield United didn't really offer much. They are, as it says on the tin, bottom of the table, lacking quality, not offering too much. Even from a physical standpoint, we were obviously going to do well today with those four centre-backs. I was never expecting us to concede from a set piece, to concede from a wide area, to concede in the air. Never. No chance. Not with those four centre-backs out there. But in terms of going forward, very limiting. From a general play consensus and even from a passing sense, we just didn't do enough. No one was good in that first half, right? Second half now, I don't know what Pochettino said. Maybe it was just tactical, but he moved Sterling central. He went to this, you could just say 4-4-2 to keep it basic. You have your wingers in Palmer and Mudryk, but you've got Sterling now in the middle alongside Jackson. And this is what I wanted before the game, only I wanted it in Broja because he's a striker, and Jackson, where Jackson can play off the left. Mudryk was not good today. From start to finish, he didn't have a good game, right? You've got Jackson who's capable of playing on the left-hand side, but he can also then play as a striker and give support to a Broja or whoever's going to be up there. And it just potentially can kill two birds with one stone. We know we don't have, kill two birds with one stone, or maybe kill one bird with two stones. Yes, kill one bird with two stones. That's what it is. Two strikers, one. Yeah, I like that because that's what it was. We did not have a way of really sustaining attacks through the middle. If one loose touch from Jackson, collapse. We needed more support through the middle. We needed more options. And Sterling goes in there, helps out, really does combine and connect, and then we just look a lot better. We're moving the ball quicker, we're getting the ball forward, and we're creating opportunities. Everybody, raised their game in the second half. Palmer was way better in the second half, obviously got his goal. You'd think you'd see a ball across the box from Sterling and someone crashing into the box. It seems so simple, but we made it so difficult. Once we get that, commit bodies into the box, which we didn't enough times in the first half, someone's on the end of it and we get the goal, and it's fantastic. We put ourselves 1-0 up, and then obviously we need that second, and thankfully again we get it. It's a Palmer assist. It is a bit of a mess. It could have been a foul in the build-up, but Sterling, Gallagher, there was a couple of moments for penalty shouts, but to be honest, I'm getting a little bit more stricter in my personal view of what's a penalty and whatnot. If it's not a clear penalty and it's just little flimsy moments and looking for it and falling, I'm not interested. So we didn't need a penalty anyway. Eventually we crack the code, we get through. Gallagher bundles off Sterling as well, makes a save from the keeper, and then of course Palmer puts it back across. Jackson's got a tap in, he gets his goal. This is the type of game though where there's so much work to do. You can't take too much from this game and apply it into the future. You can't think from this game we're going on a run. You can't even think from this game we're going to dispatch of Newcastle on Tuesday. There's so much work to be done with this team. I'm hoping that this whole get a player closer to Jackson, which is obviously what Nkunku was doing in pre-season. Clearly, it maybe is such a big part of Pochettino's plan. We saw Sterling doing that in the second half. Hopefully with Nkunku coming back, he didn't play today, but that will help, again, us help create and score chances with more numbers committed into the box. Broja comes on eventually, and my lord, did he miss one of the best opportunities you'll get. Open goal, somehow he manages to sky it high and wide. We've got to be ruthless. You've got to take those chances. When you're coming into this team trying to prove yourself, I know you might be a bit rusty, coming off an injury and whatnot, but Chelsea waits for no man. You must take those chances, bro, because you just won't get many of them. If Chelsea were operating at a level where they had an elite striker, you wouldn't see minutes right now. So when you do have a chance like that, and Jackson's obviously, a player that is not clinical, is not necessarily giving us the penalty box movement we need. He's linking up, he's holding up, trying his best, and that, great, but you're not a proper striker. I wouldn't mind moving him out wide if we got another striker just to get more bodies in the box. You've got to take that chance. So disappointed for Broja. Again, like I said, the back line, they didn't have too much to do. They dealt with what they had to deal with. And Petrovic, I really can't judge because he had to make literally one save, I think, in the whole game. He didn't have to claim any crosses. He didn't have to really play out from the back under pressure. He didn't have to do nothing. Petrovic today was chilling, vibing, and that's how it should be. He got his clean sheet. Again, like I said, he hasn't had the games of Wimbledon, Blackburn to accumulate, to build up that confidence anyway. So I'm happy that he had nothing to do and he could get his clean sheet and go home. Newcastle, I promise you, brother, you will have work. You will have work, brother. I know today it was like, bring your son to work day, and you were just like watching and seeing how we do and how we do things around here. Believe me, against Newcastle, you're going to be put into action. You're work experience now. You know what I mean? You're going to have to get your hands dirty. So literally be ready for that. People wanted Nkunku to come on. Instead, it's Gusto, it's Maatsen, it's Broja, it's Enzo who didn't start today, which puzzled me because your best passer against a low block, right? It just makes sense. And if anything, if you're thinking about tiredness or back and forth, the yin and yangs and transitions, Newcastle is going to provide a much more physically testing game. But that's the decision that was taken. Hopefully against Newcastle, he runs the show. In terms of this game, like I said, Sheffield United, they didn't offer anything. So we can only take a couple of positives, which is we won, we scored a couple of goals, we kept a clean sheet. People did improve in the second half. The second striker system did seem to help and did seem to, improve our performance, but there's a long way to go. For me personally, man of the match, Palmer, goal assists only seems right. I think he needed that. He was starting to drop off a little bit, starting to fall into mediocrity, which is basically what we've become. And he had to rise again. So, keep your head above water. Keep doing what you're doing at least. You started off brilliantly. You got player of the month for us. Let's get that form back. Hopefully some people follow suit. Caicedo's massive improvement in the second half has to be said as well. He was very, very critical in the upturn in performance. So, like I said, you can't really take too much. You can't really go too crazy. You can't go thinking that we're top of the world again, because we're not. We won against Sheffield United. They're bottom of the league. We needed to win that anyway. 2-0 is respectable. It wasn't a demolition. It wasn't an annihilation. But it was good enough in the end to win 2-0 and get out. Newcastle on Tuesday. Quick turnover. I don't want to hear about tiredness. The third time we're playing 2 games in 1 week. Grow up. You're young. It's the youngest team average in the league, youngest average age. Brother, you got 2 games in a week. Be ready for Newcastle. We need to go through. That game is massive. This fan base, this manager, this club, they need a cup run. They need to see Wembley. They need to try and win a trophy. Newcastle is massive. You need to win that game. I think they won against Fulham tonight. So we go again, we move. Quick preview, in and out, job's done. Bob your uncle. Nkunku, not asked. Listen, we'll see him soon anyway. He's not injured. That's the great thing to come away from this game. Remember, this is a player that had a big injury for Leipzig last season, didn't get into the World Cup squad. Big injury this season. Take time, take care, look after that brother, because we can't afford any more injuries. Same applies to Gusto, who was off the bench today. No problem with it. The lineup was, like I said, it was a bit spooky. First half performance kind of was a spooky one too. We move. Guys, smash up the like, subscribe. Thank you so much for 70k. We hit it. We're moving on to 80. FIFA stream should be on tonight as well, 10 o'clock. Until then, big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace.